4 words. That's all it takes. 4 words that can mean the difference between life and death. If you've ever called 911, you probably don't think much about the person on the other end. The voice that stays calm while you're panicking. The person who has to listen to the worst moments of your life and somehow help you through it. My name is Detective Rachel Foster, but 10 years ago I was a 911 dispatcher in Portland, Oregon. And on the night of December 18th, 2014, I received a call that would destroy everything I thought I knew about reality. This story is real. The call recordings still exist, buried deep in police archives. The case file is marked unresolved, ongoing investigation. But I'm going to tell you what really happened, because someone needs to know the truth. Before we begin, I need to warn you. If you've ever called 911, if you've ever heard strange sounds on a phone call, if you've ever felt like someone was watching you through your devices, this story is going to stay with you. So take a breath, check your doors, make sure you're not alone, because after you hear this, you might wish you were. Let's begin. December 18th, 2014, 11 p.m. I'd been a 911 dispatcher for 3 years, 26 years old, single, living in a studio apartment in southeast Portland, working the overnight shift, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., because it paid a little extra and I was saving for grad school. Most people don't last long as a 911 dispatcher. The burnout rate is insane. You hear things you can't unhear. A mother screaming because her baby stopped breathing. A teenager whispering because there's an intruder in their house. The silence after a gunshot. But I was good at it. I could stay calm, compartmentalize, follow protocol, get people the help they needed while keeping my emotions locked away. The Portland 911 call center was in the basement of the central precinct. 40 workstations arranged in rows. Usually we'd have about 15 dispatchers on the overnight shift. That night, we were short-staffed, only 8 of us. My station was number 23. I remember because that was my lucky number. Stupid, right? Having a lucky number in a place where you dealt with unlucky people all night. I settled into my chair at 11 p.m. sharp, logged into the system, put on my headset, took a sip of the coffee I'd brought from home. French vanilla, 2 sugars. My supervisor, Linda Hayes, was walking the floor. Linda was in her 50s, 20 years on the job, seen everything. She stopped by my station. "Slow night so far," she said. "Couple of drunken disorderlies, 1 fender bender. Old Mrs. Chen called about raccoons in her trash again." "The usual," I replied. "Don't jinx it," Linda said, half joking. "Full moon tonight." I rolled my eyes. Linda was superstitious, always talking about how full moons made people crazy, how certain dates had bad energy, how sometimes she could feel when a bad call was coming. I didn't believe in any of that. I believed in science, logic, procedure. "I'll be fine," I told her. Linda squeezed my shoulder. "I know you will, honey. You're my best." She walked away, and I pulled up my screen. The call queue was empty. The radio was quiet. The other dispatchers were chatting quietly, eating snacks, doing paperwork. A slow night. Perfect. I pulled out my phone to text my friend Emily. We were planning to grab brunch on Sunday, my day off. That's when my console lit up. Incoming call, line 1, caller ID. Restricted location, unable to determine. That was weird. Usually our system could triangulate cell towers or pull up landline addresses, but this one showed nothing. I clicked to accept the call. 911, what's your emergency? Silence. Hello, this is 911. Do you have an emergency? More silence, but not empty silence. I could hear something. Breathing, shallow, rapid, like someone hyperventilating. I can hear you breathing. If you can't speak, press a button on your phone so I know you're there. A beep. Good. Someone was there. Okay. Are you in immediate danger? 1 beep for yes, 2 for no. Beep. Yes. My training kicked in. I started typing notes while talking. Okay, stay with me. Is there someone in your location who's hurting you? Beep. Are they in the room with you right now? Beep, beep. No. Good, that's good. Can you tell me where you are? A voice, finally, a woman, young, maybe early 20s, whispering. I don't know where I am. You don't know your address? I don't know. I woke up here. I don't know where here is. It's dark. I can't see anything. Okay, stay calm. Are you injured? My head hurts. I think someone hit me. I was walking home from work and then I was here. Possible abduction. I flagged the call as priority and started the emergency response protocol. What's your name? Jessica. Jessica Monroe. Okay, Jessica, I'm Rachel. I'm going to help you. Can you describe anything about where you are? Any sounds? Smells? It smells like dirt and something else, something chemical. Gasoline, maybe? And it's cold. So cold, the floor is concrete, I think. Are you in a basement? A garage? I don't know, it's completely dark. Wait, oh my God. What? What is it, Jessica? There's someone else here. My blood ran cold. Someone else is in the room with you. No, not in the room, but I can hear them. Through the wall. They're crying, screaming. It sounds like a little girl. I was typing frantically, trying to get units dispatched, but the system couldn't get a location on the call. Jessica, this is very important. I need you to try to figure out where you are. Is there a window? A door? I'm tied up. My hands are tied. I can't move. Oh God, I'm going to die here. He's going to kill me. Who's going to kill you? I don't know. I didn't see his face. Please, you have to help me. You have to. The line went dead. Jessica? Jessica? I tried to call back. Nothing. The number showed as disconnected. I ripped off my headset and ran to Linda's station. We need to trace that call. Woman named Jessica Monroe. Possible abduction. Possibly being held in a basement or garage with at least one other victim. Linda was already pulling up the technical data. She frowned. Rachel, there's no call logged. What? I was just on it. Line 1. She showed me her screen. The call log showed nothing, like the call never happened. Check the recording, I said. Every 911 call is automatically recorded. Linda pulled up the audio files for the last 30 minutes. Nothing. This doesn't make sense, I said. I talked to her. Her name is Jessica Monroe. Look her up. She said she was walking home from work. Linda searched the police database. No Jessica Monroe reported missing in Portland. No Jessica Monroe in the system at all. Rachel, are you feeling okay? Have you been sleeping enough? I stared at her. You think I imagined it? I think it's been a long week. Maybe you dozed off for a second, had a dream. I didn't dream it. She was real. The other dispatchers were staring now. Linda put her hand on my arm. Take a break. Get some air. I'll cover your station. I wanted to argue, but I could see it in her eyes. She thought I was losing it. So I walked out. Went to the break room, sat down with my hands shaking. Had I imagined it? No way. It was too real, too detailed. But then where was the recording? Where was the call log? I pulled out my phone and Googled Jessica Monroe Portland. Nothing. I was about to put my phone away when it buzzed. A text from an unknown number. The message said, "You heard me, why didn't you save me?" And attached was a photo. A young woman, early 20s, blonde hair, tied to a chair in a dark room. Her eyes were open, but she was clearly dead. I showed the text to Linda. She immediately called Portland police to trace the number. It came back as a burner phone, activated 2 hours ago, already offline. The photo was analyzed. Forensics said it was taken recently, within the last 24 hours based on the metadata. But the metadata had been stripped of location data. The woman in the photo, we ran her face through every database. Missing persons, social media, driver's licenses, nothing. Like Jessica Monroe didn't exist. Linda sent me home early, told me to get some rest, that we'd figure it out in the morning. But I couldn't leave, because something in my gut told me this wasn't over. I went back to my station, logged back in. 12:47 a.m. The call center was quieter now. A few routine calls, noise complaint, minor car accident, drunk person causing a disturbance. I was staring at my screen, thinking about that photo, when my console lit up again. Incoming call, line 1, caller ID, restricted location, unable to determine. My hand hesitated over the accept button. Linda was in a meeting with the watch commander. The other dispatchers were busy. I clicked accept. 911, what's your emergency? A man's voice, elderly, shaking. Please help me. I'm trapped. I've been here for days. I can't feel my legs anymore. Sir, what's your name? Thomas. Thomas Kern. I'm 73 years old. I live alone and I fell. In my bathroom. I can't get up. My phone was dead, but I found my old landline phone. But I don't know if it's working. Can you hear me? Yes, Mr. Kern, I can hear you. What's your address? 4521 Southeast Hawthorne Boulevard. Apartment 3B. Please hurry, I'm so thirsty. I haven't had water in I don't know how long. I typed the address into the dispatch system. Address not found. I tried again, same result. Mr. Kern, I'm having trouble locating your address. Is that 4521 Southeast Hawthorne? Yes, please, I'm begging you. Send someone. I don't want to die alone. I manually radioed for a welfare check at that address. Dispatch sent Unit 23. Mr. Kern, help is on the way. Stay with me, okay? Keep talking to me. It's so cold. Why is it so cold and dark? When did it get dark? What day is it? It's December 18th, Thursday. But I fell on Monday. That's 4 days. Oh God, 4 days on this floor. I could hear the desperation in his voice, the pain. You're going to be okay, Mr. Kern. Help is almost there. I can see them, you know. See who? The others, the ones who died here, in this building. They come at night. They stand in the corner and watch me. They're waiting. Waiting for what? For me to join them. My skin prickled. Mr. Kern, that's just dehydration. Maybe hallucinations. You're going to be fine. No, I'm not. I can feel it. I'm dying. This is it. This is how I die. Alone on a bathroom floor, talking to a stranger. You're not alone. I'm right here with you. What's your name? Rachel. Rachel, that's a nice name. I had a daughter named Rachel. She died when she was 7. Car accident. That was 40 years ago. I never got over it. Tears were streaming down my face. I wiped them away quickly, hoping no one noticed. I'm so sorry, Mr. Kern. Will you pray with me, Rachel? I'm not really religious. Neither was I. But right now, I think I'd like to try, just in case. So I did. I prayed with this dying old man, a prayer I half remembered from childhood, something about God and mercy and peace. When I finished, there was silence. Mr. Kern, no response. Mr. Kern, can you hear me? Still nothing. The radio crackled. Unit 23. Dispatch, we're at 4521 Southeast Hawthorne. There is no apartment 3B. Building only goes up to 2C. No one here by the name of Thomas Kern. No evidence of anyone in distress. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. Can you check with the building manager? Maybe. Already did. No Thomas Kern has ever lived here. Dispatch, is this a prank call? Linda was suddenly at my station, headset on, listening. Unit 23, disregard. Return to patrol. Dispatcher error. She disconnected and looked at me. Rachel, my office. Now. Linda's office was small, cluttered with files and coffee mugs and commendations from 20 years of service. She sat behind her desk. I stood. What's going on with you? She asked. I don't know. These calls, they're real. I'm talking to real people. But then they just vanish. Rachel, I've known you for 3 years. You're the most level-headed dispatcher I have. You don't make mistakes. You don't imagine things. So I need you to be honest with me. Are you using anything? Pills? Alcohol? What? No. Linda, I'm completely sober, I swear. Then what the hell is happening? I don't know. My voice cracked. I was on the edge of losing it completely. Linda's expression softened. When's the last time you took a vacation? I don't know. 6 months. You've been pulling doubles, covering other people's shifts. You're running on fumes, honey. Sometimes stress can cause... This isn't stress, I interrupted. These people are real. Jessica Monroe, Thomas Kern, they called for help and I couldn't save them. There's no record of these people existing. Then why did I get a text with Jessica's photo? Linda hesitated. Forensics is still analyzing that. Could be someone playing a sick prank. Could be... My console alarm went off. Visible through the office window, my station was lighting up. Another call. Line 1. Don't answer it, Linda said. Someone needs help. Rachel, but I was already out the door. I sat down at my station, stared at the blinking light. The other dispatchers had gone quiet, watching me. I clicked accept. 911, what's your emergency? A child's voice, a little girl, maybe 6 or 7 years old. Help, I need help. Mommy won't wake up. My heart shattered. Sweetie, what's your name? Lily. Lily, where are you? Home, I'm at home. Can you tell me your address? I don't know my address. I'm only 6. Mommy knows it, but she won't wake up. That's okay, Lily. You're being very brave. Can you look around? Is there any mail? Any letters with your address on them? I heard shuffling sounds, papers rustling. There's a letter. It says 247. Take your time, sweetie. 2473 North. I don't know this word. Sound it out for me. Willam. Willamette? Willamette? Yeah, 2473 North Willamette Boulevard. I typed it in. The address came up. Real location, real apartment building. Good job, Lily. Now tell me about your mommy. Is she breathing? I don't know. She's on the floor. There's a needle next to her, and her lips are blue. Overdose. I dispatched paramedics immediately. Lily, I need you to listen very carefully. Go unlock the front door. Can you do that? Okay. I heard the sound of locks clicking. Good. Now go sit on the couch. Help is coming, okay? They'll be there in just a few minutes. I'm scared. I know, sweetie, but you did everything right. You called for help. You're very brave. Will my mommy be okay? I wanted to say yes. I wanted to promise her that everything would be fine, but I'd learned not to make promises I couldn't keep. The paramedics are going to try their very best to help your mummy. They're really good at their job. I love my mummy. I know you do. I don't want her to die like the others. I froze. Like what others, Lily? The ones who call you, Jessica and Mr. Thomas, and all the rest. They all died. Mummy's going to die too, isn't she? My mouth went dry. Lily, how do you know those names? I can see them. They're all around you. They've been trying to talk to you for a long time, but you wouldn't listen, so they had to use the phones. Lily, who's with you right now? No one, just me and sleeping Mommy and the dead people. The dead people are there, in your apartment. Not just here, everywhere. They're always there. You just can't see them, but I can. I've always been able to. The radio crackled, paramedics arriving on scene. In the background of my call with Lily, I could hear pounding on a door. Voices shouting, "Portland Fire, open up!" "They're here, Lily. Go let them in, okay?" "Okay." "Rachel?" "Yes?" "They want you to know something. The dead people. They said to tell you you can't save everyone, but you can save yourself before it's too late." "Before what's too late?" "Before you become one of them." The line went dead. The radio, "Dispatch, we're on scene. We have a 6-year-old female, uninjured, and a 34-year-old female, unresponsive, suspected opioid overdose. Administering Narcan. Child is asking for Rachel. Says Rachel told her to open the door." Linda was staring at me. Everyone was staring at me. This call was real. The child was real. The address was real. But how did she know about Jessica and Thomas? How did she know my name? And what did she mean about me becoming one of them? I looked at my reflection in the dark computer screen, and for just a second, I could swear I saw someone standing behind me. When I turned around, there was no one there. Linda pulled me off the phones, sent me to the conference room with a cup of tea I didn't drink, and told me to wait. I sat there for what felt like hours, but was probably only 20 minutes. Through the window, I could see her talking to the watch commander, Captain Derek Morrison. Both of them kept looking at me. I pulled out my phone and did what I should have done hours ago. I looked up the calls, not in the 911 system, on Google. Jessica Monroe missing, Thomas Kern death, nothing. But then I tried a different approach. Portland unsolved disappearances. And there it was, a news article from the Portland Tribune. October 2014, 2 months ago. Woman, 23, missing after leaving work. Jessica Lynn Monroe, 23, was reported missing on October the 15th after failing to return home from her shift at the Bridgeport Brewery. Her car was found in the employee parking lot. Police are investigating. My hands were shaking so badly, I almost dropped my phone. I kept reading, scrolling through updates. October 20th. Police search for missing woman continues. October 28th. Family offers reward for information. November 3rd. Search scaled back for missing Portland woman. Then nothing. The story just stopped. I searched for Thomas Kern. Thomas Kern, Portland death. An obituary. Portland Mercury, November 2014. Last month. Thomas Albert Kern, 73, passed away November 10th at his residence. He is survived by no immediate family. A private service will be held. Cause of death wasn't listed. I dug deeper, found a news brief in a local neighborhood newsletter. Elderly man found dead in SE Portland apartment. Police say Thomas Kern, 73, had been deceased for several days before being discovered by his landlord. Death is being investigated, but foul play is not suspected. They found him in his bathroom, just like he told me. Except he died a month ago. I was talking to dead people. The conference room door opened. Linda and Captain Morrison came in. "Rachel," Morrison said, sitting across from me, "how are you feeling?" "I'm fine." "Linda tells me you've been having unusual experiences tonight. I've been receiving calls from people who I think might be victims, missing people, dead people." Morrison exchanged a glance with Linda. "I know how it sounds," I continued quickly. "But look at this." I showed them my phone. The articles about Jessica and Thomas. Both of these people are dead or missing. And both of them called me tonight. Before I even knew who they were. Morrison studied the articles. "This could be a coincidence, or someone is messing with you, using information about real cases to..." "What about Lily, the little girl whose mother overdosed? She knew their names. She said they were trying to contact me. She's a 6-year-old child who just witnessed her mother nearly die. Kids say strange things when they're traumatized." "Captain, please. Something is happening. I don't understand it, but..." "Rachel," his voice was firm but not unkind, "you're a good dispatcher, one of our best, but you've been under a lot of stress. I'm ordering you to take the rest of the week off, paid leave, go home, rest, maybe talk to someone." "You mean a therapist?" "I mean someone who can help you process what you're experiencing." "You think I'm crazy?" "I think you're exhausted and possibly experiencing a psychological episode. It happens. There's no shame in it." I wanted to argue, to fight, to make them believe me, but I could see it in their eyes. They'd already decided. I was losing my mind. I grabbed my bag and left without another word. It was 3:47 a.m. when I walked out of the precinct into the cold December night. Rain was falling, Portland rain, not heavy, just persistent and cold. I got in my car and just sat there. My phone buzzed. Another text from an unknown number. "You're starting to understand, good, but there's more, much more. Go home, Rachel, look in the box." "What box?" I texted back. The response was immediate, "The one you've been avoiding for 10 years. My blood turned to ice, because I knew exactly what box they meant. I lived in a studio apartment on Southeast Division Street. Small, cheap, enough room for one person who didn't accumulate much stuff. Except for one thing. One box I'd never unpacked, not in the 3 years I'd lived here. Not in the 5 years before that, when I lived with my ex-boyfriend. Not in the 2 years before that, when I lived in the dorms at Portland State. The box had moved with me from place to place, always sealed, always shoved in the back of whatever closet I had. It was in my closet now, behind the winter coats I rarely wore. I knew what was in it without opening it. Childhood things, photos, report cards, drawings, a stuffed rabbit named Mr. Isita, Hoppy, and the things from that day. I hadn't thought about that day in years. I'd pushed it so far down that it was like it happened to someone else. But now, standing in my apartment at 4:15 a.m., rain drumming on the windows, I pulled the box out of my closet. It was covered in dust. Labeled in my mother's handwriting, Rachel T. Childhood. I sat on my bed and opened it. The smell hit me first, that particular smell of old paper and fabric. Memory made tangible, photos on top. Me as a baby, me on my first day of kindergarten, me and my parents at the coast. And then, The ones from that summer 2004. I was 16. There was a photo of me and my best friend, Megan Chen. We were at the county fair, eating cotton candy, making silly faces at the camera. Megan. I hadn't let myself think about Megan in 10 years. I kept digging, found the newspaper clipping my mother had saved, though I'd begged her not to. Portland Tribune, August 12, 2004. Teen girl missing after sleepover. Megan Chen, 16, was reported missing after failing to return home from a sleepover at a friend's house. She was last seen leaving the friend's residence on foot at approximately 10:30 p.m. on August the 10th. The friend wasn't named in the article, but I knew who it was. It was me. Megan had been at my house for a sleepover. We'd had a fight, a stupid fight about a boy we both liked. She'd gotten upset and decided to walk home even though it was late. I'd let her go. I was the last person to see her alive. They found her body 3 weeks later, in Forest Park. She'd been strangled. They never found who did it. I kept digging in the box, found what I was looking for. A journal. My journal from that summer. I hadn't looked at it since the police returned it after their investigation. I opened to August 10th, 2004. My handwriting, 16-year-old me, had a huge fight with Megan tonight. She left angry. I called after her, but she wouldn't stop. I watched her walk down the street until I couldn't see her anymore. I should have stopped her. I should have called her parents to pick her up. I should have done something, but I didn't. And now I can't shake this feeling that something bad is going to happen. The entry ended there. The next entry was dated August 29th, 2004, the day after they found her body. They found Megan today. She's dead. They said she's been dead for weeks. While I was eating breakfast and watching TV and living my life, she was already gone. The detective asked me again if I saw anything suspicious that night, if Megan mentioned anyone, if anyone was following us. I said no, but I lied because I did see something. When Megan walked away that night, I watched from my bedroom window. I saw her turn the corner at the end of our street, and I saw a van, a white van with no windows. It was parked under the broken streetlight, the one that had been out for weeks. I saw the van's door slide open. I saw someone get out. And then Megan disappeared from view, and I went back to bed, still angry, still hurt, not knowing that I'd just watched my best friend walk into her death. I never told anyone about the van, not the police, not my parents, not anyone, because I was scared. Scared they'd blame me. Scared they'd say I could have prevented it if I'd just spoken up sooner. So I kept silent, and Megan's killer was never caught, and I've carried that guilt every single day for 10 years. I closed the journal, tears streaming down my face. My phone buzzed, text from unknown. Now you remember, now you understand. We're not haunting you, Rachel. We're asking for your help. The others, Jessica, Thomas, all of them, they're connected. Connected to Megan, connected to the van, connected to the man who's still out there, still hunting, still killing. And you're the only one who can stop him, because you saw him that night. Even if you don't remember, it's buried in your memory, and we're trying to help you find it. Another text. One more call is coming. The most important one. Answer it. And this time, remember. I stared at my phone, my heart pounding, and then it rang. Not a text. A call from my own number. I was calling myself. I stared at my phone screen. Incoming call, Rachel Foster. My own name, my own number. But I was holding my phone, so who was calling? With a shaking hand, I answered, "Hello?" My own voice came through the speaker. "Rachel, it's me. It's you. This is going to sound crazy." It was me. My voice, but younger, higher, scared. "Who is this?" I demanded. "It's you, from that night. From August 10th, 2004. I'm 16 years old, and I'm in your bedroom, and I'm watching Megan walk away, and I'm about to make the biggest mistake of my life. This couldn't be real. This was impossible. I'm having a breakdown," I said. "This is a psychotic break. I'm talking to myself." "No, you're talking to your past. They're letting me call you. The dead people. They're using your memory of that night to connect us, so you can fix it, so we can save them." "Save who?" "Everyone. All the women he's killed. All the women he's going to kill, because he didn't stop with Megan, Rachel. He kept going. Jessica. And before her, there were others, and after her, there will be more, unless you stop him. I can't stop him. I don't even know who he is. Yes, you do. You saw him that night. You just don't remember because you don't want to remember. Because remembering means facing what you could have prevented. I was sobbing now. I can't do this. I can't. Look at the memory, Rachel. Really look. Stop running from it. Stop hiding from it. Close your eyes and go back to that night, to that window. And look. I can't. You have to. They're all counting on you. Megan, Jessica, Thomas, Lily's mother, all of them. Their deaths are connected, and you're the connection. You're the one who saw the beginning. Now you have to see the end. I closed my eyes, and I let myself remember. Really remember. Not the version I'd told myself for 10 years. Not the sanitized, safe version. The real version. I'm 16. In my bedroom. It's 10:32 p.m. on August the 10th, 2004. Megan just stormed out after our fight. I'm still angry, still hurt, but also worried. I go to my window and watch her walk down the street. She's moving fast, arms crossed, definitely still mad at me. She reaches the corner. The streetlight is out, has been for weeks. The city keeps saying they'll fix it, but they haven't. In the darkness, I see it. The white van, parked right at the corner. I can't see the license plate because of the angle. The side door is already open, and someone is stepping out. This is the part I've never let myself see. In my memory, it's always been a blur, a shadow. Nothing concrete, but now forcing myself to really look, I see him. A man, tall, maybe 6 feet, wearing a dark jacket. Hood up, and something else. He's wearing a uniform. I can see it under the jacket. A work uniform, blue, with a patch on the sleeve. I can't read what the patch says from my window. Too far away, but it's distinctive. Red and white, some kind of logo. Megan doesn't see him at first. She's looking at her phone, probably about to text someone. He moves toward her, says something. She stops, looks up, and here's what I've never admitted. She looked back at my house, right at my window, right at me. For just a second, our eyes met, and I saw her mouth form words. Help me. Then the man grabbed her arm. She tried to pull away, but he was stronger. He dragged her toward the van. She struggled. I could see her struggling. And I turned away. I told myself it was probably her dad, or a neighbor, someone who knew her. I told myself she'd be fine. I told myself it wasn't my problem because I was still mad at her. And I got into bed, and I went to sleep. And Megan died. I opened my eyes back in my apartment, tears streaming down my face. I saw him, I whispered into the phone. I saw him take her. I know, my younger voice said, because I'm you, and you're me, and we both saw it. We both failed her, but we can make it right. How? It's been 10 years. The uniform. You saw it, you remember it, even if you've never let yourself consciously remember. It's there, in your mind. What did the patch say? I closed my eyes again, focused on that memory, on the man's sleeve, on the red and white patch. And suddenly I could read it, like my brain had been hiding it from me for a decade and now finally released it. Morrison Plumbing, I whispered. The patch said Morrison Plumbing. Silence on the phone. Then, now you know. Now you can stop him, before he kills again. Wait, don't hang up. I need... But the line was dead. I immediately Googled Morrison Plumbing Portland. One result, Morrison Plumbing and Heating. Family owned since 1987. Located on Southeast 82nd Avenue. I clicked on their website. It was old, barely functional. Last updated in 2005, there was a staff photo from 2004. 5 employees standing in front of a white van. I zoomed in on their faces, and my heart stopped, because I recognized one of them. The second from the left. I'd seen his face dozens of times over the last 3 years. At the precinct, in the hallways, in meetings. Captain Derek Morrison, the watch commander who'd sent me home tonight, who'd told me I was having a psychological episode, who'd made sure I was off the phones so I couldn't receive any more calls, so I couldn't find out the truth. The website said the plumbing business had been run by the Morrison family. Derek Morrison's father, Douglas Morrison, was the owner. Derek would have been, I did the math, He would have been 24 in 2004, working for his father's plumbing company before joining the police force. I searched for more information, found an article from 2005. Douglas Morrison had died of a heart attack. The business had closed shortly after. Derek had joined the Portland Police Department in 2006, 2 years after Megan disappeared. My phone rang. A real call this time, from Linda. I answered. "Rachel, thank God, where are you?" "Home. Why?" "You need to get somewhere public, somewhere safe, right now." "What's going on?" "It's Morrison. After you left, I got curious. Started pulling old case files, the unsolved ones, missing women, over the last 15 years. There are 17 cases that fit a pattern. All took place in areas Morrison was connected to, either where he lived or where he worked, or where he patrolled as a cop. Linda, I think he's the killer, Rachel. I think he's been using his position to cover up his crimes. And I think he knows that you're figuring it out. He left the precinct 20 minutes ago, said he was going to check on you to make sure you were okay. Oh my God. Rachel, get out of your apartment now. I'm sending units to you, but... A sound at my door, a key in the lock. Linda, I whispered, he's here. The door opened. Captain Derek Morrison stood in my doorway. Morrison stepped into my apartment and closed the door behind him. He looked the same as always, professional, calm, authoritative, but now I saw him differently. I saw the monster underneath. "Rachel," he said gently, "I was worried about you. You seemed really distressed when you left." I was still on the phone with Linda. I didn't hang up, kept it connected, hoping she could hear. "I'm fine," I said, backing up. "You didn't need to check on me. I wanted to make sure. You know, these psychological episodes can be dangerous. Sometimes people hurt themselves. I couldn't live with myself if something happened to you." He was moving closer. I grabbed the first thing I could reach. A lamp from my side table. "Mup, stay back," I said. Morrison stopped. His expression changed. The mask slipped. "You know," he said. Not a question, a statement. "I know you killed Megan, and Jessica, and the others." He smiled, actually smiled. "The calls," he said. "I knew something was off tonight. When Linda said you were getting untraceable calls with no recordings, I knew they were reaching out to you. The dead ones. They've been trying for years, you know, but tonight they finally got through." "How do you know about the calls?" "Because they call me too, Rachel. Every night. Every single night for 10 years. Begging, pleading, accusing. I hear them screaming. I see them standing at the foot of my bed. I feel their hands on me while I sleep." "Good," I said. "You deserve it." "Do I? All I did was take what I wanted. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Take what we want?" They were weak, vulnerable, easy. They were human beings. They were ghosts waiting to happen. And now they are, and you know what's funny? Even dead, they're still trying to stop me, using you, the girl who let Megan die. His words hit like a punch to the gut. "That's right," he continued. "You think I didn't know? I saw you that night, in your window, watching. I thought you were going to call for help. I was ready to run, but you just went back to bed. You let me take her. So really, Rachel, you and I, we're not so different. I'm nothing like you. You let someone die to save yourself from awkwardness. I let people die because it feels good. It's just a matter of degree." He was closer now, almost within arm's reach. "What's your plan here, Morrison? Kill me? They'll know it was you. Linda knows. She's sending units here right now." "No, she's not. I'm the watch commander. I countermanded that order 5 minutes ago. Told dispatch it was a false alarm. You're just having a mental health crisis. No units needed." He pulled out a knife. "This is going to be tragic. Brilliant young dispatcher, overwhelmed by the job, takes her own life. I'll find you in the morning. I'll be devastated. I'll give a beautiful eulogy about mental health awareness and the importance of supporting our first responders." He lunged. I swung the lamp. It connected with his head. Glass shattered. He stumbled. I ran for the door. He grabbed my ankle. I fell hard. We struggled. He was stronger. The knife was coming toward my throat, and then the lights went out. All of them. The entire apartment went dark. Morrison froze. "What the?" A sound, children giggling, coming from everywhere and nowhere. "No," Morrison whispered. "No, no, no, not now." The temperature dropped, our breath visible in the air, and they appeared. All of them. The people Morrison had killed. Megan, Jessica, Thomas, and so many others, dozens, all standing in my tiny apartment, translucent, glowing, angry. Morrison screamed. They moved toward him, surrounded him. He released me and scrambled backward. "Stay away from me! Stay away!" But they didn't stay away. They reached for him with ghostly hands, and when they touched him, he screamed louder. I could see it happening, see them pulling something from him, something dark and writhing. His sins, his guilt, his evil, making him feel everything he'd done to them. Every moment of their fear, their pain, their death, all at once. Morrison collapsed, convulsing, foam coming from his mouth. And then, as suddenly as they appeared, the ghosts faded. The lights came back on. Morrison was on the floor, eyes open, still alive but broken, staring at nothing, whimpering. Police sirens in the distance. Linda must have sent them anyway. I crawled to my phone. It was still connected. "Linda?" I whispered. "I'm here, honey. I'm here. Are you okay?" "I'm okay. He's not going to hurt anyone anymore." "Units are 2 minutes away." I looked at Morrison. He wasn't moving, wasn't responding, just staring and whimpering. Then I saw her, Megan, standing in the corner, looking just like she did when we were 16. She smiled at me and mouthed, "Thank you." Then she was gone. The police broke down my door 90 seconds later. Captain Derek Morrison was arrested that night. In his house, they found evidence, trophies from his victims, 17 women over 15 years, but Morrison himself never spoke again. Whatever the ghosts did to him, it broke something in his mind. He's in a psychiatric facility now, maximum security. They say he just sits in his room, staring at the walls, whispering, "I'm sorry," over and over. Sometimes the staff report seeing him talking to people who aren't there. They think it's schizophrenia. I know better. As for me, I'm not a 911 dispatcher anymore. Couldn't go back after everything that happened. But I am a police detective now, Portland PD. Missing Persons Unit. Because those calls didn't stop. Even after Morrison was caught, I still get them. Less frequently, but they come. Ghosts, victims, people who fell through the cracks, people who need someone to listen, someone to care, someone to find the truth. And I've learned to listen. The case file on Morrison is closed. Officially, he was caught through good police work. Evidence, forensics. Nobody talks about the ghosts, about the impossible calls, about the night the dead rose up to protect the living. But I know. And sometimes, when I'm working late at my desk, when I'm digging through cold cases, when I'm trying to give voice to the voiceless, I hear them. Whispers in the static, shadows in my peripheral vision. And I'm not afraid anymore. Because I understand now, they're not here to haunt us. They're here to help us, to remind us that every victim deserves justice. Every voice deserves to be heard, every call deserves to be answered, even if it comes from beyond the grave. My phone is ringing right now as I tell you this story. Unknown number. I should probably answer it. Someone out there needs help. And this time, I won't look away. Detective Foster, how can I help you? This has been the true story of the 911 calls that changed my life. If you ever call 911, remember, someone is listening, someone cares, and if you're lucky, someone will answer. Even if you're calling from the other side, stay safe out there. And if you hear something strange on your next phone call, maybe don't hang up. Maybe just listen.